Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today to continue with the testing of the Gemilai 3007Z. What we're going to do today is we're going to adjust the flow to maybe around 6 milliliter per second, and then we're going to test out the current pressure that it's actually the pressure that is being set, that stopped coming with the machines, and then we'll try to adjust the OPV so that we can lower the pressure to maybe around 9.5 bars of pressure. So, and then after that we'll pull shots and then see how the espresso tastes compared to the previous one. And before we continue, do consider hitting the subscribe and like button now. It does help us a lot so that we can continue to make a lot of good video for all of you. Right, so first of all, I've already installed the mod to adjust the flow, and then what we're going to do is just to see what is the flow that is being set currently, because I can't remember what I set previously. So you can see down here I have this flow meter, so now I can actually adjust the flow meter and on the go as and when I like it. And then let me bring you closer. Remember, we are using the manual button, and it's not the button with the pre-infusion setting. So let's start and see how it goes. So the flow is now around about 68 milliliters per 10 seconds, which is about 6.8 milliliter per second. So let's tune that down to maybe around 5 milliliter per second, and then we'll adjust the pressure of the OPV to around 9.5 bar. Then we'll pull shots. Right, I've adjusted anti-clockwise about half a turn, which is around 180 degree turn, and then we'll see the output of this flow now. Right, my flow, it's around 58 milliliter per second. I think it's still a little bit too high, so I'm going to continue to adjust to go a little bit finer. To go a little bit slower. So I will continue to do maybe a quarter turn, and then let's test it again. Right, let's try again. Right, I think this is very much what I want to get. So in 10 seconds, I'm getting about 52 to 53 milliliter per 10 seconds, which is about 5.2 to 5.3 milliliter per second. So this is what I want. So next we'll move on to adjusting the OPV. So to adjust the OPV, I do not need the flow meter here anymore, so I'm going to remove the flow meter mod. And then I'm using a blind basket from my other E61 group machines. Okay, let me remove the original basket. Alright, so okay, now you have to observe the pressure, which is around here. Right, so I'm going to start the shot, and then I'm just going to adjust the knob over here. Okay, maybe I'll just bring my camera down a little bit so that you can see. This is the knob here. So I'm going to turn on. Okay, pressure is going up. Right, it's hitting 12, 15. Okay, let's bring it down. This is around 10. This is 9 bar. Let's bring it to 9.5 bar. Okay. Right, let's try again. And you can see that the water is being back flushed down. Let me check the water goes into the tank here. Yes, it does. So the water actually drained back to the to the drip tray, which is a good sign. So let's try that again. Alright, now it hover very steadily at 9.5 bar, so that is what you want to set. So that's good. Right, to do the same, I'm going to show you the 3007L without OPV, and I'm also going to adjust the flow to around 5 milliliter per second. Then we can actually compare the taste of the two espresso. One is without OPV, in OPV, and the other one is with OPV installed on the Z version. So let's first see what is the current flow rate. I believe should be around 3 because I've set it pretty low. Right, so let's see what's the current flow rate. Yeah, it's very slow. Yep, it's exactly around 3 milliliter per second. So I'm going to crank it up. So remember, going clockwise is increasing the flow. So let me bring you closer. Right, so I'm going to crank this. I'm going to go 1 half turn first, and then I'm going to go another a quarter, sorry. Right, so let's test the flow again. Right, this is around 50, so I think mine is around 53, so I should adjust it to be slightly higher. Alright, let's test it again. Alright, I think that should be pretty close. I'm going to increase a little bit more. Right, so I think it should be the same on both. So now I'm going to prepare 2 shots of espresso. I'm going to do it one after another, and then we're going to do a taste comparison. So this one is without the OPV. So this is the 3007L, and this is the 3007Z. This is already limited at 9.5 bar. This one, it may go up to as high as 10 or 11, maybe 12 bar. I'm not too sure what the current grind setting will do. But let's see how the 2 espresso taste differently. Right, so same thing, I'm going to measure 18 grams. Both shots will be 18 grams of coffee. So I will only go through this one time so that you don't have to see the second time of me preparing the coffee. I like this scoop. One scoop is about 6 grams of coffee. So if you 3 scoop, normally it will get me around 18 grams of coffee. So grind setting I didn't adjust from before. Same coffee, still the Brazil Cerrado. Right, so let's first pull the shot on the 3007L. Let me remove this flow control mod, so that you can see the pressure on the gauge clearly. So now I'm just going to do the manual button. So let's start. Observe the pressure is going up straight away. You can see that it's going up to 12 bar, 13, almost 13 bar of pressure. So let's see how much are we extracting. 20 seconds. Right, about 25 seconds, I'm getting about 37 grams of coffee. So that is the first shot. So now I'll prepare the same thing for the second shots, and then we're going to do a taste comparison. I must well just record the second one as well. Right. Okay, the park is very dry. Knock out really nicely. Just let me clean the portafilter slightly. Alright. Okay, let's weigh the coffee. Same thing, we're going to get about 18 grams. Okay, exactly 18 grams there. Right, same thing, let's grind it. Right, same portafilter. Okay, so let's do the same thing. Okay, let me bring you closer. Okay, pressure is going up to 9. Right, around 9 bars of pressure exactly. Okay, we are hitting around 25. Right, 25 grams, this one yields about 39 grams of espresso. So in terms of difference, there's difference between the two is just about 1 grams of coffee. Exactly 25 second shots. So let's taste the difference between these two coffee and then see how the pressure actually affect the taste. Alright, so let's give you a taste. Let's try the first one. This is the 3007L without the OPV. Pressure goes up to around 12 to 13 bar. Oh, there's a underlying bitterness there. Yeah, there's a sign, it's definitely a sign of over extractions. Let's try the other one. This is the one from 3007Z. Oh, this is so much better. Yep, this is so much sweeter. It is very complex. It has all the sweetness. It has a very nice, pleasant acidity. On the overall, this espresso just trumped the espresso totally, right? So this is a very pleasant, very well extracted espresso, very balanced. Oh, it brings out the sweetness. Is really good. Yeah, so I guess if you are having the old version of 3007L, right, the machine is still very capable, but you really need to utilize the flow control mod, right, if you want to get an espresso that is of this quality, right? But if you haven't buy any of these so-called budget-friendly very well enabled espresso machines, right, you definitely can consider the 3007Z because it has all the things you need to start to learn about all your espresso. In fact, there's too many things in this machine that you can tweak, and sometimes you do not know where to start, right? So my advice is actually to start with a certain flow rate, and then to restrict your pressure at a certain level, right? For my preference is around 9.5, because usually if you set to 9, the pressure of the machine will go slightly below 9. If you want to set it to 9 bar exactly, usually the machine setting it has to go slightly higher. Half a bar higher is ideal. So as you can see just now, it hits about 9 bars of pressure exactly. So definitely the 3007Z is a much more capable machines. You have more controls with less tweaking that you need. I'm not too sure whether this makes sense with you. What I'm trying to say is that you do not really need to vary your flow rate anymore once you hit the ideal flow rate. Even if your flow rate is a little bit higher, right, your pressure is going to change. You know that pressure is going to be maxed out at around 12, around 9 bar, because you cap it at 9 bar. But whereas on the 3007L, the pressure is not capped, so you really need to tweak your flow control to bring down the pressure to achieve the same tasting espresso. So definitely, I think whether you are beginner or you are trying to go deeper in espresso machines, this 3007Z is a very fun machine to play with. Yeah, so I highly recommend if you are exploring that. If you haven't bought any machines, right, definitely consider the 3007Z. What's the benefit of it? Number one, it is able to adjust the brew temperature. It is PID control. Not only that, you can also control the steam temperature, which give you the ability to control your steam power. If you find that the 2-tip steam hole is steaming a little bit too strong at a certain temperature, you can actually lower it so that it's more manageable, giving more time to texture the milk. It also has the flow control adjustment, whereby you can actually control the flow of water that's being dispensed from the group. Number 3, you can adjust the OPV mode, and that actually it's one of the most important improvement over this machine as compared to the 3007L. Right, there's one more thing that's very important, which is the pre-infusion setting. You can see that for this 2 espresso I pull, I did not use the pre-infusion setting at all. Of course, you can do that as well, which I'm going to do in the next video. I'm going to test with the same setting with different pre-infusion setting on both machines, how the 2 espresso is going to taste, right? So 3007Z is effectively, you can pre-infuse with the pump off and also with the pump on for the time that you want it to be. So this is a lot more setting you can do. So on the overall, definitely the 3007Z, or some people call it the Tyrian Legato Generation 2, is definitely more worth it to buy. I do agree with some of my subscribers telling me that this is definitely the better machine to buy. I agree with you, but there are many of us that have already purchased the 3007L, and we have to get most out of this machine, correct? So I'm going to continue to explore using this machine to pull out very beautiful espresso. I believe you can still do it, just that you have to spend a little bit more work in tweaking your flow. Right, so this is CY once again. Thanks for joining. Right, please hit the subscribe button if you have not done so, like my videos, and then I'll see you in the next one.